What is going on, y'all, and welcome to the reveal trailer for Need for Speed Unbound. Now, in this video, we are going to be pretty much dissecting this entire trailer and going as in-depth as we humanly possibly can to figure out as many little details as are in this trailer that we can possibly see. So, if that is something you're interested in, make sure you stick around for the rest of the video, and let me know in the comments below what you are most excited about in Need for Speed Unbound. Now, right off the bat, we're going to watch the trailer through, and then we're going to break it down section by section. Now, one of the first things you'll notice is obviously the customization changes on the cars, but more importantly, the new artistic effects, the effects and the style of these new effects. Obviously, with the wings and the characters, right? The characters, bumper delete. Bumper delete is going to be so sick, and I hope that we have it on as many cars as humanly possible. But the art style, I'm actually okay with, because the characters and the kind of anime art style elements of this game, I think are completely fine so long as the cars look really, really good. Like, I'm completely fine with the characters having a more, hand-drawn look to them, so long as the cars look believable, they look solid, and look like something that you could build and see in real life. Obviously, we've got some gameplay here with the cops, we've got a look at, you could see a helicopter, you could see all sorts of different things, and now, let's dive into the breakdown. Now, they start the trailer off with a full skyline view of the city, and I think there's no better way that they could have started this trailer off in terms of setting the mood for the game. This is the kind of environment that we've been dreaming of in Need for Speed for years. This is the kind of environment that I've wanted to see in Need for Speed ever since the days of Most Wanted 05, Underground 1, Underground 2. I grew up with those games, and, whether or not you're a fan of the new art style with the characters and some of the kind of more cartoony effects, I, for one, am extremely glad that they're really going back to their roots with such a robust city environment. Now, here we see what looks like some people arriving to like an underpass car meet. We see some people walking under the underpass. We also see what looks like a Mitsubishi Eclipse and maybe a Nissan GTR driving in as well. And here we get a little bit better of a look at what a car meet could possibly look like in the game. Right in front of us, we've got a Silvia S14, we've got some people milling around, we've got a couple of other parked cars, but this looks like it's in a completely different location, and actually, it kind of looks like it's on a bridge. Now, this next shot really went into detail with showing some of the exhaust effects. As you can see, not only do we have flames that come out the exhaust, but it seems like there's a little bit of like some differentiation in color. We've got like the orange/red glow inside the pipe, and then the blue flame that actually comes out. Really, really sick. And that also pretty much confirms the back end of a Lamborghini Huracan, potentially a Huracan Performante. Now, in this shot, we get a little bit better of a look at a customized S14. However, you can also see what some of that cartoon effect smoke might look like. Now, I've seen a lot of people having back and forth opinions about this, and one of my questions that I would have about this going forward is that the way the tire smoke and things like that are always going to look, or is that something that we can toggle or turn on and off? I would really like to get a little bit more information on that specifically. But on another note, it does fully confirm that windshield banners and window stickers are 100% coming back. Now, here we get a little bit better of a look at what the characters may look like, especially up close. Now, one of the interesting things to me here is when you look at it, you can see how that sort of hand-drawn style of character sort of interacts visually with one of the cars. Now, I know that for some people it might be a bit like visually jarring and they might not necessarily like that style, but for me, I think it changes up the visual style of the game just enough that it makes it a little bit different. Down on the left, we also see where it says "Be Unruly." I don't know if that actually means anything in the context of the game, or if that's just kind of like a stylistic choice for the trailer. The next couple of shots will go over a group of cars basically doing donuts/drifting around some light poles and kind of within this like kind of crowded area where there's a bunch of people gathered around. This, once again, will probably go back to the aspect of the game that includes car meets. It could even potentially indicate that the car meets are a little bit more interactable than you might think. I mean, does this indicate that we'll actually be able to, like, go from hanging out with our friends at one of these meets to, like, drifting around like a light pole or something? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Also, you can see here that the tire smoke color is different. So if you can change the tire smoke colors to all of these different things, like, it could be green or it can be orange or kind of whatever mixture of the two, surely they would also probably let you change it to just be like standard, tire smoke. And here we get a close-up look at some of the cars in a lot more highly detailed of a shot. We've got the 190E right there. We've got a wide-body C8 Corvette. Looks like we've also got a kind of mid-2000s Mustang. And then over on the right, we don't quite have enough detail to make out what that is. But again, this, for me, really looks like it's either depicting a cutscene or a car meet or even both. This next shot confirms a lot of cars. Now, on the left, you've got what looks like an E30, then an Eclipse, then, of course, the 190E, potentially a Cuda, then also a what looks like a Porsche 911 RSR, and then a R35 GTR all the way on the right. Now, could this next shot mean the return of Need for Speed Underground style race starts with an actual starter that stands in between the cars? I don't know, but I really hope that's the case because having a starter standing in between the cars like that goes a long way to the immersion. Now, here we get our first look at what the gameplay could actually look like, and to be honest, obviously, like you can see in the distance, there's a little bit of a wavy camera effect going on, but I really like the atmosphere. I really like what they're going for, but the lines coming off the cars, I wonder if, again, those are permanent or those are things you can adjust. Fast forward a little bit and we see what these special abilities could potentially look like. And when I say special abilities, this is probably just activating some kind of boost. But again, let me know what you guys think of this visual style in the comments below because this is something very new and different for Need for Speed. The next few shots were cinematic shots taken from a race, but this one to me just felt like a shot that was right out of, again, that underground and most wanted era of Need for Speed, and for whatever reason, it spoke to that nostalgia part for me. Let me know in the comments below if that's something that you guys also got out of this particular camera shot. One thing, though, that makes me really happy is that when you see this shot and then you compare it to the next shot, this confirms that customization is not only back, but it is stronger than ever in Need for Speed Unbound. And customization, at the end of the day, is one of the biggest things that has separated Need for Speed from all of the other games in its class. And to be honest, it's probably the biggest reason that I have continued to go back to Need for Speed over the years, because I can get lost in the customization. I can be in there for so much time. In some respects, I could be customizing a car for longer than I end up racing it. So the customization being that strong is a huge plus for me. This next shot kind of confused me, though, because they send you out of the garage, and then they put you on a dirt track in what looks like a slammed S14? This is kind of odd to me. This is just a little bit of an odd decision, like, stylistically, but I'm sure there's going to be some component of off-road in the game. I'm just not sure how much there's going to be, but this is really the only part of the trailer where they focused on it. The next shot actually begs the question, was this done just for style in the trailer, or does this hint at this game having split-screen gameplay? I don't know, but I would like it to have split-screen gameplay. I know a lot of people enjoy split-screen gameplay, but at the same time, not a lot of games really have it anymore. And then here again, we go back to that green tire smoke as opposed to the orange tire smoke that we saw earlier. But honestly, we've been seeing the tire smoke color kind of fluctuate between different colors. It's, again, probably something that you can change in the customization or maybe unlock different colors as you play through the game. In this part of the trailer, just after the car leaves a large jump, you can see kind of the beginnings of it starting to sort of sprout wings. Again, that's one of those weird effects that, you know, will that be an every jump thing, or will that be just on specific jumps, or will that be something we could turn on and off? I'm kind of hoping that there's an option to sort of adjust that. Now, this part is one of my favorite parts of the trailer because this is where we start to see a little bit more of a glimpse of what the characters look like up close. That looks like it's most likely the garage. Once again, you can also see a removed bumper on that S14, and then here we get a lot more detail and depth of the characters. Now, what I'm hoping this means is that when you go to a car meet, you'll actually not only be able to show off your car, but show off your character as well and how you've customized them. Because if you look at these characters, they seem to have gone to great lengths to really show how far you can go with the character customization, and not just in terms of clothing itself, but say, for example, you know, their hair, their, you know, accessories, all these different things. I really am getting the vibe that they've pushed the character customization to another level. And again, they carry on that car meet theme, although in this shot, they actually show another vehicle which looks like a G-Wagon with potentially a Mansory body kit. Really interesting stuff, and I'm really excited to see all these different body kits in the game. Now, we move on to where they show more of the cops. Now, it looks like the cops in this shot have actually come in and kind of raided this car meet, and not only do we see Chargers, but we also see what looks like a modified Ford Raptor with a SWAT logo on the side. So, I am expecting that SWAT logo on the side of the truck, that's probably going to represent the higher heat levels, or whatever they consider to be the new term in this game. I'm not sure if they're going to continue to use the term heat levels or wanted levels or whatever the case may be, but as you level up your own wanted rating with the cops, you probably won't get chased by those Raptors until you get a little bit higher up in level. Circling back around to customization now, you get another look at this gorgeous 190E, and you can see the diffuser with a bumper delete. Now, how many cars in the game will let you do this remains to be seen, but I'm just honestly really amazed that they were able to get the car manufacturers to allow them to do this on licensed vehicles. I think it's absolutely incredible. Now, will we see it on everything in the game? Probably not, but I'm hoping that we see it on more cars than not. Now, in this next trailer scene, you can actually see the player's car here, the S14, lining up against that 190E, and in this scene, the character actually says, if you win this race, you can have it. Now, obviously, that's been a dynamic of Need for Speed games for a long time, but does that indicate something deeper, like potentially pink slip races against other players? I would really like to see that, personally. Up next, we get another look at the landscape of the city. This bridge, by the way, that they're driving over could potentially be the same bridge that they had that car meet in on the lower level of back in the beginning of the trailer. I don't know, that's just speculation on my part, but it would be really interesting to find out. Now, also, looking at these cop cars again, you can see it says Lakeshore Police on the side. I'm kind of curious as to why they used the older Charger and not the latest body style. It's kind of interesting to me and a bit odd. When I saw these, I was like, I'm glad that they're in the game, but why didn't they use the newest body style Charger? You can see these also have the slightly older style of headlights. I know it's not really a big deal within the game, but it is just an odd little detail. Now, here we can see a roadblock that is actually comprised of those SWAT Raptors that we saw earlier on, so this must indicate a higher heat level chase, and you can also see, again, that multicolored tire smoke coming off of both cars, and then the trailer finishes out by showing you the NFS Unbound logo once again, with the release date being confirmed in the trailer to be the 2nd of December. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know your thoughts, opinions, and feelings around Need for Speed Unbound, and make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay as up to date as possible on everything Need for Speed related. But that's going to do it for this one, y'all, and I will see you on the next one. Talk to y'all later.